Jim and Kiilu.
Wonderful. Welcome, everybody, to a wonderful new Fireside Chat with Kiilu and Jim and Elizabeth Lindsey from Atlanta. Thank you so much. Elizabeth, morning. Not so much an evening, but...
and we're in the middle of summer. No fireside, guys. Yeah,
exactly.
Like a fireside outside, Kiilu in particular.
How hot is it down there in Atlanta?
Well, today we started off at 74. We're going to get to 89, but yesterday we didn't get out of the 70s. So we've been pretty good. But I think Texas and Arizona have been baking.
Well, I was going to say, that sounds like Fireside Chat to me. If it was 70 degrees, I'd be like, oh, I need a jacket.
A heavier vest, if you will. I agree.
It's been break out one of my Patagonia vests or something like that. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, as we were saying, it's about 110 degrees in Texas. So we took the family up to Colorado, and it is nice, about maybe 60 degrees, which is why I'm in this odd little hotel room for now. But good times. Elizabeth, tell us a little bit about your background, firm, all that stuff, and and your involvement with the Aaml, as we all know.
Sure. Well, I started practicing law in North Carolina. I grew up in North Carolina, went to Chapel Hill undergrad and law school. Started in Charlotte with a family law firm. My mentor ended up being a Academy Fellow. It was just coming into the Charlotte and North Carolina area at that time. Then I met Edward on a ski trip in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, moved down to Atlanta and been at my firm, Davis, Matthews and Quigley, since I got married in I started here in 89. I got married in 88. So I've been here ever since. And we have a family law specialty area. We don't call that in Georgia because we don't have specialty areas, but my firm has has 5 or 6 of us practicing family law, trust and estate and tax lawyers and corporate and commercial real estate. So we are really great for high asset clients because we have all the in-house skills to do the things we need to do to get a good agreement in place and to understand the issues. Of course, we go outside for experts, et cetera. But yeah, so I've been down in Atlanta for almost 34 years now. And it's been great. And as you know, I'm the immediate past president of the American Academy of Matrimonial Lawyers. I was a pandemic president and experience to be had. But I was pleased with the way the year went under all the adverse circumstances.
It was certainly tough to navigate all of that, but it was absolutely amazing. And I think towards the end, towards the end of your presidency, when we started being able to get back together finally?
Finally, yeah. So we had our first executive committee meeting in September in conjunction with the AFCC conference at the Aaml. And that was excellent. Still a little bit of COVID scare going on. We seemed to thread the needle in November at our annual meeting. We had a full complete. We had over 400 registrants, not including sponsors and spouses. So we had a big crowd. And we seem to thread the needle between the Delta variant and the Omicron variant. So for posterity, somebody's going to say, what was that? But yes. And we did not have a super spreader event at either of those 2 occasions. So I was ultimately very thrilled about that.
That's awesome. And now where are your kiddos all at? Because you just had a wedding not too long ago, right?
Yeah. So in the middle of my presidential year, I had a wedding in St. Simon's last August. It was beautiful. And that son, Zach, and he's been big law in DC, and he's married to a wonderful woman, Kate, who is working for Senator Toomey and is in budget and finance tax issues. Then I have one son, his twin, Charlie, who is living with us. He just graduated with a dual master's degree from University of Michigan after having completed, prior to that, Peace Corps service in Malawi. But he is working remotely. He hopes to be out of the remote world soon, but he's working now. One of his big projects is beach and beach conservation issues.
Oh.
He's dealing right now with plastics and maybe going down into the Caribbean with his company to do some research projects. And then
you have twins at war with each other. One's in the big, big DC, one's, like trying to save the environment. There's going to be a clash in the Lindsey household.
Oh no, it even gets worse, Kiilu, because my oldest child, their big brother, 17 months older than the twins, just retired from the Army as a captain. And so we told Charlie, the one who was saving the world, that when he got in trouble in Malawi, my son Harmon was going to have to come and get him out. But yeah, so we have all spectrums covered. But he is retired. He's married. His wife is still a captain in the Army, and she's finishing up her duty in Germany. But he will be starting the MBA program at Emory this fall. So we will have him with us while they are living in separate locations due to her assignment and his educational pursuits. So we're all happy. No grandkids. I'm looking forward to that day, but I already have 2 grand dogs. So that's
there you go.
all right.
No grandkids just yet.
Just yet. Yeah.
What was the wedding in St. Simon's? Was that down at King and Prince?
It was at the
Okay.
King. It was lovely. It was lovely. And again, we had 225 of our closest friends and family, mainly my children's friends, because they had collected from high school, college, grad school, and work, a bunch of friends that all came. Everybody was looking forward to an event, and it was lovely, but it was just beautiful. And they got married, and it was a full moon as they left. It was gorgeous.
Wow. I was a beach boy down there setting up the umbrellas and tents for everybody back in the day for Barry's Beach Service.
Ooh, I think I remember you telling me that. I've sat under one of the umbrellas back in the day.
There you go.
I don't even want to know what you did as a Barry's Beach Boy, so I'm gonna just stay away from that one.
You know what? He had to dig holes in the sand. I know
Yeah.
that.
But it really
Chairs around for old people. Yeah.
it teed me up really well because I had really good hair back then. I then got really tan. I was in good shape, and that's right when I met Olivia. So she was completely fooled from the beginning that I was never going to look like that or be like that ever again. So, so North Carolina to Atlanta and all that. If there's anywhere that you could live, where would you go?
Anywhere that I could live right now, I think I would want to live in Chicago for every month from maybe April till November. Then I'm not sure where I'd want to live, but I love Chicago. I've really enjoyed getting to know that city through all the Academy adventures. At one point, I would have told you San Francisco, but I'm not sure I want to live there anymore. So, for no particular reason other than the weather.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's got great food. San Francisco still has one of my favorite restaurants in the world. And so I love, it's called The House. Oh my gosh. And then if you go to Dim Sum, they've got, seriously, I love me some San Francisco.
Well, I am unfamiliar with dim sum being from the South. We don't have it very often, but my introduction to it was with the South Carolina chapter. When I first started coming to the national meetings, they would go over to Chinatown in Chicago, and they would order dim sum. So that a couple of times I got to join them, and that was my grand experience, and it was good. It was good. I just I am intimidated by it.
Oh, that's
well,
awesome.
Yeah. I say I grew up eating it. Being from DC, we'd go into Chinatown every Sunday after church, and that's where we would go. And, you comes around in the little carts, and you just get to pick, what you want, and you just, keep your plates, and they count your plates at the end of the thing and say, this is what you owe.
Sounds like a Brazilian steakhouse almost.
Exactly. Except there's no, coaster that you turn, red and green.
Flip it over.
Exactly.
I don't know if you have much on red there. I think it's just keep it on green.
I walk in, and it's just like I turn my green over. I'm like, all right. I made a mistake the first time when I went there. It's like doing like the salad and all that other kind of stuff, and I was like, oh, that's just
rookie.
That's where their amateurs get robbed. I was like, I'm never making that mistake again.
Yeah, you don't fill up on that iceberg.
Who would you say is your hero?
My hero.
Yes.
Gosh, who is my hero? I would probably say, tough call, because there are a lot of people. Like the first person that came to mind recently is Cassidy Hutchinson, but I'm very proud of that young woman. That's my today's hero. People
Mhm.
who showed a lot of bravery in the face of a lot of blowback, they're going to get. You know, I think that it kind of comes to this idea of people standing up for things that are risky and willing to take that big step of courage, and using that as an example for all of us to take a stand where it matters and to stand up and be courageous. Liz Cheney is also
Yeah.
like a current hero. I mean, she has really done an amazing job. So, how's that for the answer?
That's awesome. Now, are you a book reader or an Audible?
Well, I'm both, but
Okay.
currently I'm in the Kindle reading stage. I
Ah.
feel like Money Granger with my magic bag with all my books that I can carry with me everywhere I want to go. And you can tell them that I raised my boys on Harry Potter. I'm a devoted fan. But yeah, so I read a little bit of everything. Right now Daniel Da Silva is one of my favorite little authors. I love his character, Gabrielle Alon. So I just discovered that he had two new books out. So I've been devouring those. But then I'll read theology, and then I'll politics and history and biography. So I just read a little bit of everything.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now, what about movies? What kind of, are you a movie buff? Do you and Edward sit?
Yeah, I love movies. So, I mean, I don't really watch regular TV, but give me a good movie. And guys, Jason Bourne. Who doesn't like a Jason Bourne movie? I've got all these boys. I watch all that stuff. Love this new Maverick movie.
Oh, there you go.
Tom Cruise, personal fan, but he does do a good movie. So
I agree.
Great movie. I love the fact that they introduced us to Penny Benjamin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Finally get to put a face with the name.
Yeah.
And that was such a good, I'm with you.
Give me a good Downton Abbey. My old friends.
Downton, I laugh with Olivia. If I can't fall asleep, I just need her to turn it on. I don't even get through opening scenes and I'm out cold. Says a lot, I guess.
So if you could go back in time and advise yourself, your younger self, what would you say?
I think I would say to be more carefree, to really be able to stop and enjoy the moment more. We get so busy between careers, children, expectations about what's going to happen. I would want to be a little more carefree as a younger person.
Yeah. That's probably, it's even hard now to remember those, that lesson, just in what we do, it seems like.
Yeah, there's always a pressing emergency. You wake up every morning and your email box is full of something that the clients have, some argument they've had with their spouse or some issue they have. We always are dealing with crises, but it all works out.
Yeah, it's hard to unplug. That's the thing. You got to get it.
Kind of makes me miss, faxes and US mail, where
we thought it was so cool when the fax machine came around, guys. We thought so amazing. And
and these iPhones, blessing and a curse. You're never out of the office anymore.
And your clients don't expect you, to be out of the office or unavailable, even if you've got the out of office thing on your thing and you're really on a computer. It's tough.
It's tough. Now, speaking of carefree, okay, so if you got called to karaoke, what song would you sing?
Oh gosh, the Whitney Houston song.
I will always love you.
I will always love you. Yeah. I have a joyful noise voice, guys, the organ plays really loud at my church on Sunday and I can belt it out, but that's all you want me to do. But if I could come back as anybody, I would want to be Whitney Houston singing that song.
That is awesome.
It's from The Bodyguard, right?
Yeah.
That was a good movie.
Yeah, sure was.
It was.
I like Kevin Costner's movies.
Well, and it's hard to,
except for Waterworld.
Yeah.
Waterworld was not good.
No, all right.
He might have been in The Postman too, wasn't he?
Yeah, that wasn't,
Not all of them are great. He got cut out of Big Chill.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
big
He's really come back with a bang, though, now that he did Yellowstone. I mean, that just now that's all people will remember now. So he's fine.
Well, that's not true because I will always remember Bull Durham. Bull Durham will be.
Oh,
Come on.
that's what I grew up in North Carolina. I went to Chapel Hill for 7 years for undergrad in law. So the Bull Durham is like fabulous. Fabulous.
I was getting ready to give a little, montage of, I believe in, but I remember what it first starts with, and I was like, it's a little early to,
to jump into that.
But I'll just say, I believe in slow, long, wet kisses that last 3 days.
Oh my God, we are going to clip that, Kiilu. Just so you know, I might need that snippet on my phone for the future.
I don't know. That might become some blackmail information.
It will be.
But then I'll just say, hey, you cut out the best part. What's up with that? See, I've got it all planned out.
There you
I'm
go.
a little bit worried about this editing process, guys. I mean, exactly what are y'all going to edit? Like, what am I going to actually be responding to?
You will see you'll be like, I love, and be like, huh, okay, all right. You'll just wait, you'll see.
I'm going to admit, I actually have not gone back and rewatched any of these interviews because I just remember all of them so well that I don't go back and rewatch them. So if Mary's been doing some creative editing, could be pretty funny.
I would say, I think I've watched a couple of them, and I remember Jill, the only time that Mary did anything is when we actually, called for a break. With Drew, there was no editing. With Dawn, there was no editing. And so actually, we've actually done pretty good, which is amazing considering it's me and you, and there should be editing out the galore.
That's true.
Well, I'm glad this isn't automatically live air with just a 10-second delay in broadcasting. Exactly.
Now, okay, Elizabeth, are you more beach person or are you more ski or cold, hot vacation?
Now, I am a beach person for sure.
Okay.
Give me a beach, especially one with a long place to walk. I love walking on the beach. I can do it for hours and not get enough.
That's awesome. Now, okay, so tell us about Cartagena because we never got to go there, but I did so much research when you said that that's where we're going for mid-year that I find it fascinating. So what is it like there? I mean, does it have that beachy type vibe or?
It's a very interesting mix. So it is right on the Atlantic and the Pacific. The Caribbean, sorry, not the Pacific. Well, the Pacific's on the other side of Colombia, but it's right. So, but Cartagena has the Atlantic Ocean and the Pacific, the Caribbean. So you are on a beach. Now it is, the beaches there are public. So we probably wouldn't like it so much on that beach. But one of the things we were going to do is take a speedboat one day. We were going to have a break on Wednesday and go to a private island that is just a beach, and it would have been gorgeous. The pools, though, at the hotels were fabulous, and there was this huge infinity pool. It was like on the sixth or seventh floor, so that was interesting. But you really did feel like you were out there at the ocean, and that was fabulous. But what I really loved about it was that it was basically a medieval styled city or early, Renaissance city. It's 1500s. It was established by the Spanish. We were too big of a group to be inside the city wall, the old town part of the Cartagena, but we were going to do a lot of things down there. And it was like a 3-minute cab ride or a 10-minute walk from our hotel there. Very safe to walk.
How did you find it?
Did they have anything like towards a Joan Wilder? Did they embrace that or anything like that? Or is it just like it never took place?
They didn't really talk about Joan Wilder. They were more worried that we were going to keep talking about the Colombian war trade, drug trade, et cetera. And, there was still a lot of conversation about El Chico and all of that. But they had really cleaned up that act. There was a lot of corruption in Colombia. They had a new mayor we were working on getting to us, who was a stockbroker up in New York and came back to Columbia and ran on an anti-corruption platform and like spent kind of like some minuscule amount of money and beat the incumbent. And he seems to be doing a great job. We are going to go to a rum and chocolate shop where the mayor's son owns, and that funny small connections. That guy went to Chapel Hill and worked in a restaurant in Winston-Salem, where I actually grew up in North Carolina. So all the connections there were just fascinating. There was so much to do. It kind of cost was so low. The peso to the dollar was extremely favorable to us. You could go out to a phenomenal restaurant, and there were plenty of them. And we would when we were doing our site visits, we had 3 people going and had, 3 or 4 courses with wine, $90.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it was insane. And there was next to the hotel, there was a great place, an arcade for kids if they wanted to get out of the sun. It would have just been a real unique, fun experience. I want to go back. I will go back, and I would highly recommend it. I would not stay there's a Hilton. I don't recommend the Hilton, at least not based on the experience we had. It is way out of town. It's gorgeous. It's called a Conrad, but it's not near Old Town. If you're going to Cartagena, you want to be near the town, or and if you're in a group small enough, in the town. And it's just beautiful. I'm hoping that based on the pandemic, they relied so heavily on the cruise industry that they are doing okay. I'm on their Facebook page, but I know cruise industry is back. But my hope is that they survived, because that was the major source of their income, was tourism.
Where would you want to travel to? Where is the best place you've been, or where do you always want to go, or where have you always wanted to go?
So I do have a wish list, on bucket list. Number 1 on that is I really want to go to the Galapagos Islands and see them before they may be gone. And I will tell you that we really want to go back, and will go back at some point, to Africa. We went there when my son was in the Peace Corps, and it gets in your soul. Malawi, for instance, is called the warm heart of Africa, and they have no money. They, even their rich people have no money. They have a very interdependent lifestyle, but they were warm and generous. Just the nature of it all. It was just really a unique experience, and we want to go back. And
awesome.
We did a safari, and it would definitely do a safari again. But it's just the people are phenomenal. So.
Yeah. Now, if you won the lottery, what would you be doing today?
I might not be talking to you. I know that.
Well, I agree. If we didn't rope you into this, you should.
Yeah, I know. So like all of our fantasies on this current ticket, what is it now? The Mega Millions is over 600 and some odd $1 million, right? So I'm keeping the day job. I haven't bought a ticket, but got to have at least one in the game, right?
Right.
So what would I do? I think I would, my fantasy is I think I would like to set up some foundations and do philanthropy through them. That's, what I want to do. Make sure my kids and grandkids have money for education. But other than that, I think really it's all about philanthropy at that stage.
Now, if you could share a meal with any 4 individuals, who would it be?
Any 4 individuals?
Yes.
Yeah.
Dead or alive. Dead or alive.
Dead or alive.
Male or female. Shout out to Don Smith.
Oh, well, there you go. So who would I want to have dinner with? I think I would like to have dinner with Condoleezza Rice. Maybe RGB, Buddha. And I don't know. I have to think about this 4th one. I don't know. I can't think of a 4th one right now. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. No.
It's all right.
Do you have any interesting hobbies that we don't know about?
Ooh, interesting hobby we don't know about. I'm working on hobbies, right? That's the one thing all of us don't have, and so developing hobbies that don't involve food and drinking. So I have taken up bridge since my children went away to
Yeah.
college, and I'm enjoying that. I haven't played in any tournaments yet, but I have a group of professional women, and we play once a week. And we're competitive, but still friendly. So who knows? I keep thinking that my next step is I'm going to go start playing some tournaments when I have more free time.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
What would you say is your favorite food?
Favorite food, not sweet potatoes. Okay. Tom Smith, I love you, but I am not going to put sweet potatoes on that thing. So, list. I would probably say as a genre of seafood.
Sweet potatoes.
Genre of seafood. Probably crab meat as the
Oh,
sweet
yeah.
Okay.
lump crab.
All right.
Lump crab. Mm-hmm.
So that if you were going to be on a deserted island, what 3 things would you take with you?
My deserted island. Let's see. I probably would take my Kindle, load it with books.
But okay.
Water source. Do I have a water source? Do I need water?
But you understand you're going to be on a deserted island. There's no plugs. Your Kindle is going to run out of, power after, maybe take a book.
I'll take my solar panel.
I was going to say solar. There you go.
Solar panel. I mean, I learned that. Take my solar panel and the hookup to charge it, and my Kindle. So that's
it. That's your 3.
3 things. Okay.
That's your 3. So we've got a Kindle, we've got a solar panel, and we've got some way to make sure that your Kindle receives power from the solar panel.
Yeah, the solar panel comes with a battery. I really think that's just one thing, but okay. Yeah. All right.
Well, you got to make it, they've got to be able to.
Connecting cord. All right. All right. All right.
Okay, what would be your 4th thing then? Because I'm with you, Elizabeth. I think I lump those together as one, but
there you go. Kiilu's acting like a lawyer here.
I'm just saying, people are bringing phones and Kindles to a deserted island, and but okay, what's your 4th thing?
Besides Edward, of course.
Oh, thank you. Yes. He takes a lot more things than just talking about adding the solar panel.
Yeah.
What would I take? Oh my goodness. My toothbrush.
Oh, there you go.
But no toothpaste.
Well, still, that's right. You can still use your toothbrush without toothpaste.
I agree. Okay. Now, what's your favorite?
On this deserted island, I assume I'm trying to cut open a coconut.
Not a knife. Crab. I was like throwing you a lifeline, a fishing pole. Something that trying to help you out. But it's all right.
Am I on the what is that the Tom Hanks movie?
Tom Hanks movie, yeah.
Wilson and yeah.
He had a plane full of packages that he didn't even open. Come on, guys.
He has one package that he didn't open. That was the one with the butterfly. Everything else he opened up because that's how he got Wilson. That's how he got the skate so that he could knock his tooth out. He did it all. Those packages came ashore and he absolutely utilized them.
All right. All right.
Okay. All right. What's your favorite sport to watch?
Basketball, college basketball.
Oh, interesting. I would have 100. I mean, I guess I'm just so used to listening to Edward talk about the Bulldogs. So I would have thought Georgia, college football.
Tar Heel.
Yeah, I was going to say they don't really play. Their football team's never been that good. So obviously she's going to say, basketball.
Football was a drinking sport when I was growing up, and basketball was a religion. So
that's a great way. That is awesome. What about favorite holiday?
Favorite holiday? Christmas. I love Christmas.
So then what's your favorite family tradition?
God, we have 1,000 traditions for Christmas. So I would probably say cookie party and a wine party and a Santa Claus party. And that always puts me in the mood for Christmas. Usually by the time that party comes around, which is usually like the weekend immediately before Christmas, it's like we're there, we're ready. everything's set, it's just great. And we see all of our neighbors for 25, 30 years come. I mean, we've been doing it for 25 plus years. We skipped it during the pandemic. So we're looking forward to coming back with it this year.
That's awesome.
So if you were a ruler of your own country, what would be the first law that you would introduce?
First that I would introduce. Wow.
Wow,
We're
is
getting
right.
questions over here at
Are
Fireside
you
Chat.
on my subjects? Because there depends on who my subjects are. I good taste rule number one. So far, I've been meeting that, so I appreciate that. So what would be the first rule? I don't know. Respect your neighbor's property.
Yeah,
Okay.
I like that.
Have you ever actually had a surprise party that was a surprise?
Yes, actually, one of my college roommates pulled off a surprise in our dorm basement for me.
Really?
Wow,
It was very sweet of her. Yeah.
that's cool. What's one of your favorite childhood memories?
One of my favorites. Oh, I think when my parents surprised us that we were going to Disney World in
Ooh.
Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had loaded us in the car. They told us we were going to Williamsburg, and we were idiots.
Hey. Williamsburg, that's an awesome place.
No, it was nice, but they
Busch
started
Gardens?
and it took us
Busch
a while.
Gardens is so much better than Disney World. Who wants to go to Disney World when you go to Busch Gardens? Come on.
Gardens,
Oh,
no,
I'm questioning your childhood, Kiilu.
Williamsburg is lovely, but it is not Six Flags or Disney World. And I loved roller coasters when I was a kid. Loved them. Still love the Rock and Roller coaster at MGM.
That's awesome.
So if you could interview yourself and ask yourself one question, what would you ask?
These are tough, Kiilu. So what would I ask myself if I was doing the interview? I would say, why did you agree to do this interview?
I do want to know the answer to that. Why in the world, when you get an email from me and Kiilu, why did you agree to do this interview?
I think alcohol was involved, guys.
Okay.
Wait, okay. All right.
That does explain a lot.
Well, I should, tell us a little about because, we've had Dawn on here, and, Drinks and Diversity has been a huge success, or we should say, the RERC, which is your baby. Mm-hmm. So kind of tell us, your thought process and, what you were trying to accomplish, and has it lived up to what you wanted it to be?
Yeah, so I'll start backwards. It has exceeded wildly all of my expectations. And the credit I want to take is I put two great people in charge of it. So if I get any credits for picking the right people to lead it, and that was Renique Robinson and Dawn Smith. And it's really started for me for a long journey that I think that I've been going through, and I believe that many people in the academy were going through, was the evolution of our understanding about where we are and our implicit biases, and maybe not even implicit, but explicit biases that we needed to bring to light in order to improve our practices, our communities, our court systems, and our representation of our clients. And it's continuing what we don't know in your own little bubble, in your own little silo. I certainly grew up in the South in a very early childhood, very unreconstructed South. And there was a lot that I didn't understand and know. And I have been on a journey throughout my adult life to really figure that out, and how to go to the next step, how to address these issues, how to be more open and available to all sorts of people, and to find out how to make a change. There's one serious question I ask myself: when have I been on the wrong side in the history and past, and how do I protect that? So whenever I find myself in an uncomfortable situation, I ask myself, what side of history am I going to be on with the way I am? And I try to work that out. So I'm just pleased that for so many people in the Academy that have participated, this has become a community of great friends and great support with a lot of grace and forgiveness, because everybody steps on their toes and, makes a mistake every now and then. But I just find it to be heartwarming that we have a group of people so committed to having these very tough conversations and willing to take action going forward.
The AML Scholars was actually born out of Drinks and Diversity. So
yeah, and Kiilu, thank you for doing that, because that you and Gary have done a great job with that. And when the program from the law school deans was so instructive about opportunity and how important that is and how we take it for granted. I do as a white female, and had people open that I understood how experience was, even though it wasn't as a woman, there were certainly barriers, but nothing like there is for minorities to break into that world. And so I think it's an important important issue to address overall, not just for family law, but for the whole legal community.
So what advice would you offer younger fellows?
In general, is participate, find a passion and participate. Do whatever you say you're going to do, show up and do it well. You don't have to commit to everything, but participate. You'll get so much more out of this organization if you become involved and work at it. I know that many of our members don't necessarily get involved on the national level, and maybe they're very involved in their local area, but to me, the enrichment from being involved nationally, as well as doing all the things we do locally, has made me love my career. And I think it's extended my career, because we're not just in the everyday grind, but we're talking about thought leadership, best practices, moving our organization forward, participating in that. I would say just participate.
Yeah. You get a heck of a lot more out of it, that's for sure. And I mean, everybody you meet and the friends that you have, and it is fantastic organization. It's so different than anything else.
Yeah, and one more thing I want to say about that is that even if you're a new a new fellow, right out of the box, the committee work is ready and willing. We've done a great job, especially as our home office has gotten better. And frankly, I think even the Zoom during the pandemic helped us get young lawyers, new fellows immediately involved in committee work. Mm-hmm. It's so much easier to get involved. And if you have a good idea, you can start your own committee, talk to the president and the president-elect. People are willing for new committees. We had 3 new committees my year. We had the RE, I can't even say it now.
RERC.
Mm-hmm. We had health and wellness, and we had the 21st century law practice. Those were, and we had young, brand new. Renique Robinson was maybe a year and a half into the fellow. And she took that mantle and ran with it. And I was so impressed with her.
Yeah.
So there's opportunities for any level to lead a committee or come up with an idea. I think the executive committee wants to hear those, and that's how we move forward, and we're relevant.
And Elizabeth, you can look at it and say, even though you were president during a pandemic year, you definitely have left your mark. So you should at least be very proud of yourself for that.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Very much so. Mm-hmm.
So Jim, you got any other questions?
Nope, let's do it. Here's our kicker.
Right.
I know, Elizabeth, you thought the other ones.
If you could be a superhero, any superhero, who would it be?
Superhero. Oh gosh, you guys, I'm thinking of all my Marvel characters,
Mm-hmm.
Too bad there's no superhero that will allow you to bring more items on a desert island. But
I'm gonna be hungry on that desert island, but I'll be well read. Oh gosh, superhero. Oh, let me see. Could I be, I mean, superhero, does it have to be a Marvel kind or
No,
character?
It
whatever.
can be anybody.
Anybody. Um, who has the coolest powers out there? I don't know. Who was the character in the Marvel comic, the female that had the mind control? No, the
Oh. Hold on.
Jessica.
In Marvel, are you talking about one of the X-Men?
I
See,
know.
I'm out of it.
That would have been Phoenix. That would have been Wolverine and Cyclops' girlfriend. I can't remember her first name. It would have been, but she turned into Phoenix.
Yes, she did.
Was it Jillian or something like that?
Is that the red-blooded one that ended up?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, okay, I'll
Yep.
pick her. But she ended up dying, right? So
No, because the Rise of the
Maybe.
Phoenix, she died, but Phoenix then was born, who was basically the most powerful, even more powerful than Professor X.
yeah,
Yep.
it is on my list, guys, to go back from the beginning of time and watch all the Marvel in order because I
They're
think
all-
out of sync. I
We
just
did-
can't keep up with them.
we did that with Boone and I during the pandemic. It was a great, it was fun.
Okay, so if that's it. So, but then let's name who's the first Avenger.
See, I got to watch them in order. Is it Captain America? I don't know.
Captain America.
Who's the second Avenger?
Oh my gosh. Wouldn't it be Tony Stark?
Nope.
Who is the guy? Oh gosh, the Iron Man. What's his name?
It's Tony Stark, Iron Man.
Okay.
Nope.
The Hulk?
What's that?
Ant-Man?
Nope, not Ant-Man.
I don't know. You got me here.
Wouldn't it be Captain Marvel?
Oh, well, maybe.
Oh,
Because Tony Stark or Captain America would have been what, the 40s or whatever, and then Captain Marvel would have been in the 80s. Because remember, that's when she kind of disappeared and she did her thing, and then she came back. But that's when that initiative really would have started, because the initiative would have started with her. She would have been really the first Avenger, because Nick Fury was the one who started the Avengers. It just so happens that Captain America would have been the oldest Avenger, because he would have gone back from way back.
way back in
war.
the. Mhm.
Well, and who is Robert Downey Jr.? I like his character in that.
Iron Man.
Iron Man.
He is Iron Man. So back to Iron Man. There you go.
Yeah.
So you've said it in a couple different ways. So I'm going to revise your statement and say it sounds like you want to be Iron Man.
Okay, I'll be Iron Man.
All right. Now,
Love it.
with that, what power, if you could have any power, any superhero power, what would it be?
Oh, I want to fly.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
I wanna
Yes. No hesitation. I love it. Well, Elizabeth, this has been awesome. Thank you so much for doing this. We really appreciate it, taking the morning to, talk to Kiilu and I, and made it through this safely. So, good laughs, which is good.
The only bad thing, it's Friday morning, so you can't be like, oh my God, I need a drink. And, if you had a drink later on, we could fully, appreciate that. But other people might think, she might
You're a
have
couple
issues.
hours ahead of us, at least.
Yeah, it's almost lunchtime. If
Okay.
if I have a drink at lunch, I don't come back to work. There you go. But,
All right.
but anyway,
Well-
thank you guys, and thank you, Jim, for taking your vacation time, and Kiilu for getting up at the crack of dawn. So
Much appreciated, y'all. Everybody take care. See y'all soon.
All right. Happy Friday.
Happy
Bye.
Friday.